President Biden is accusing Russia of committing genocide for the first time since the country invaded Ukraine.
Your family budget, your ability to fill up your tank, none of it should hinge on whether a dictator declares war and commits genocide in a half a world away. To help deal with this Putin price hike, I've authorized the release of 1 million barrels per day for the next 6 months from our Strategic Petroleum Reserve.
White House correspondent Kellen Howell is live in Washington, D.C. with more on those strong statements. Kellen, good morning.
Good morning, Jay. Well, this was a pretty big reversal from President Biden. Even up to last week, we were hearing the opposite, really, from the White House, from the president, from Jen Psaki, from the top national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, who all stopped short of calling these atrocities being committed in Ukraine a genocide. But President Biden actually doubled down on that term yesterday when he spoke with reporters, saying that as more and more images of brutality are coming out of Ukraine, he's convinced that the use of that word is now warranted. Listen.
I called it genocide because it's become clearer and clearer that Putin is just trying to wipe out the idea of even being able to be a Ukrainian. And the evidence is mounting. It's different than it was last week. The more evidence is coming out of literally the horrible things that the Russians have done in Ukraine. And we're going to only learn more and more about the devastation. And we'll let the lawyers decide internationally whether or not it qualifies, but it sure seems that way to me.
Now, President Zelensky of Ukraine was very quick to praise President Biden almost immediately after he made these comments yesterday. I want to pull up a tweet from President Zelensky. He said these were true words of a true leader, tagging President Biden in his tweet. He then went on to say, "Calling things by their name is essential to standing up to evil. We are grateful for U.S. assistance provided so far, and we urgently need more heavy weapons to prevent further Russian atrocities." Now, President Biden is saying this from a personal capacity. This doesn't mean that this is an official U.S. designation of a genocide in Ukraine just yet. And in fact, it might take a really long time for the U.S. to officially make that designation, because it's something that the State Department has to investigate and collect evidence on. And that's a process that can take a lot of time. One really good example is just recently, last month, the United States government declared the violence committed in Myanmar against Rohingya minorities to be a genocide. And those actions happened in 2017. So almost 5 years after the fact, that is now officially being declared a genocide. So that's just one example to show how long it might actually take for an official designation to take place, Jay.
Still stronger words from the President Biden on his Russian counterpart. Kellen Howell in Washington for us.